what is that low note? And it's like a low C, so you try to tune down to it, right? No way. It's just, your guitar string's just an elastic band. It's just flopping around. It's hitting you in the eye. You know, like you can't concentrate. Oh, don't forget the panda. It's worth it.
This is the walk back up the stairs and
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
Whoa.
So here we are.
Oh,
So
hey.
this is episode
8.
God damn.
Welcome.
Lucky
Welcome,
8,
day
you guys.
drinking.
Lucky 8.
Lucky 8. They say we weren't going to make it to 7.
Well, we have 4 today.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
A lucky
Yes.
4 day.
2 balls.
Respect.
And well, 5 including
5
our
including Miles.
invisible
Boy, I
engineer, Miles.
Miles.
Yeah.
Welcome. I was going to ask you though, do you have a secret agent name that you go by chance?
The shag name.
I was hoping I could acquire one here.
Oh.
Well, there is a
I'm
process.
open. Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe we can come up with one as we're sort of having a
Okay.
chat today.
Well, some people have a shag name, they just haven't brought it to shag yet. You know, I mean, Krash, you were Krash beforehand.
I came with, or to be more succinct, accurate. I needed a name, and here on my phone, what I do is I collect names of things. So I have a very comprehensive list of band names, album names, song names, character names.
Like ones that are up for grabs, or
Absolutely.
I think I see an opportunity here.
Now I see what you're
Exactly.
doing. For a second, I thought you were checking your hockey pool, and I was like,
So
Crash,
you
stop
might-
it.
No, he'd be crying if he was doing that.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be feeling positive and happy right now. I've had a bad week in fantasy hockey in the playoffs. I won't bore you, but I got some great names. Like how does Dick Chicken fancy? That's
I'm not feeling it.
It's not quite shaggy.
I'm not feeling
I
it.
remember that band, Sweet Dick.
Yeah.
And they all had like Lips and
How about
Rick?
Smegma Jr. and they were a wonderful band.
Oh, wow.
They would play the Railway Club, and they would hire a hot dog vendor to make hot dogs in the middle of the dance floor and hand them out.
Wow.
It was fantastic.
That's
They
great.
were
I used to
really
love the Railway Club back
Yeah.
in the 80s, 90s.
That's a good.
Yeah, I've been to
shtick.
lots of
I like
shows.
that.
There. Bobby Overdrive is one that's. I got Posh Rodney.
Ooh. I'm leaning towards. I gotta say, I could see you as a Posh Rodney.
Posh Rodney, yeah.
I could take Posh Rodney.
Phil
All right.
I mean, I
Phil
don't
Tricky.
need to be
Phil
like-
Tricky is also available.
No,
Tricky.
I think that's great. I think Posh Rodney. I want because
it's a great name.
I want to work out of a studio owned by Posh Rodney.
Yes,
I think that's a good place for Shag
it's
to.
decidedly English sounding, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, Posh Rodney definitely has like a British accent of, you can
loving
put it on. You can put it on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's welcome our guest, Posh Rodney, episode 8, Shag the Band.
Thank you for having me.
Who is
Wonderful to be here.
the owner of Tin Can Studios in
Tin Can Alley.
Tin Can Alley.
Yeah.
Tin
Yes.
Can Studios LLC.
Yeah. In North Van. Yeah.
GBHD and all those other letters they throw in the end there.
Which is where Shag rehearses out of.
Yep.
And
The most phenomenal, beautiful, wonderful studio.
Which in a way makes Posh Rodney our patron.
Oh,
Oh, it's so great having you guys there. You are such a wonderful bunch of talented individuals and great human beings.
Thank you.
And
And
you
when we-
add so much color and splash.
And speaking of color and splash,
musicality.
when we
thank
throw
you.
up on the floor, we clean it up.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
although we
Yeah.
do need the trail of glitter. Sometimes. It's hard to...
You gotta have a separate recycle bin for the microplastics.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I first found your place because I was playing with the tabloids, and I remember when I went to actually go audition for them, I made you, Dash, come with me because it's located basically in a boatyard.
It's located at the docks
Yeah.
where every murder mystery...
Yeah.
from the
You can make a lot of noise there and nobody would notice.
And we do.
If there's one place to not put a recording studio / rehearsal space, don't put it under a bridge or near a railway or in a boatyard. And if you have to, do it with all three.
All three.
Yeah.
All three.
Why not?
So, it ticks all those.
There's like
Noisy
giant
boxes.
razor wire up at the top of the one fence, and there's this massive gate that we accidentally
been trapped
almost
in.
got locked inside the entire boat.
We actually thought one time we were going to be spending the night.
And it's interesting when you're going around a locked up shipyard at like 10:30 at night, hoping to find somebody who's still in there.
Yeah.
What kind of person
Be
would
careful.
still be there?
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Really.
For sure. Because there's no way to get out. I mean, those fences are like 25 feet high.
And the top of them, it's like serrated, jagged
razor wire.
It's
tin.
terrible.
I actually climbed up on those water jugs one night because the hidden key, which is, we all know where that is. But I had my boom pole from work, so I was able to stretch this thing out and put a piece of, we just call it snot, but it's like that.
Sticky stuff.
Sticky, gooey stuff.
Yeah.
And I was able to jab the key, but I was standing on these, teetering on these water jugs, and I think it was about 1 a.m.
Oh, man.
And I could see people on the, like, it's quite visible from the bridge.
Right.
And must have been people, slowing down and going, what the hell's going on down there?
Yeah, for sure.
A guy sitting there.
Come on a stick.
There's no safe way out of there.
Your neighbor
you'd be
Bruce saved
bleeding.
us twice.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. I feel like we owe him a pair of tickets to a show.
Because he's got a jam space in there.
Does.
He's got a gang that he jams with.
For sure. So how did you get into owning a studio / rehearsal space? How did this happen?
And a damn bitching one at that.
Yeah.
You know what? It was actually it was a kind of an accidental coming together of my reuniting with a couple of friends from a long time ago. Not friends who knew each other, but from different period in my life. One was a fellow named Paul Haggis, who used to live upstairs from the studio I worked at, called Bullfrog Studios. This was in Kitts in the 80s.
Okay.
He lived in the building, and he went on to start Blue Dog Guitars.
We all know Blue Dog Guitars.
And so this was the second incarnation. The building was the second incarnation of Blue Dog Guitars. And when they opened, they put a bunch of infrastructure in there. They opened just as COVID hit, and so it was a really tough go for them. And they went for a few years, and they decided to fold up. So he was looking for someone to take over this space. And at the same time, I connected with another friend of mine from high school who happened to be a brilliant carpenter, and he was a really good friend in high school, Mike. And at the time that I'd gone and had a visit with Paul and had a look at this space, I was also connecting with Mike, saying, Mike, you want to have a look at this place? Could we soundproof this? Could we do something with this? Because I've been collecting gear over the years, even though I'm not in the recording. I'm in the location sound end of things for the last 20 plus years. But, I've been packing along gear that I bought from Bullfrog and over the years.
Right.
And I thought, what a perfect place to put it.
You got
and have fun.
A bunch of funny, nifty old gear.
And
really cool stuff.
Weird and wonderful stuff.
Some
of it works too.
It's always interesting. Like there'll be a practice, somebody forgets something or something breaks, and they go, "Is there one of these laying around?" And it's like, "Oh well, there's 4 over there." But no, this one doesn't work. This one doesn't work. Oh, this one works. It's great.
Let's try this old Soviet one.
Well, I'm glad they're being used, or at least tested, and then put it back. That's how.
So that's how that happened, eh? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And when when I was first humming and hawing about it, I wanted to. This was before there was an actual roof on the inside, and there it wasn't sort of sealed inside. There was a whole it was a mezzanine
second level,
like
there.
And I thought I should stay overnight, and I should get an idea of what the volume is. And I didn't sleep a wink. Like it was just trains shunting all night, just like,
Right.
and then bridge traffic, and then
Excellent for a recording studio.
Well,
We've got a once in a lifetime
like,
take going here. Oh, but it's going to be amazing. We're going to sell 1 billion records.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was a little worrisome. Still is. But no,
Yeah, I'm sure it happens. I think just
Mike
a moment
sealed
ago,
it up pretty
I think there was just an alarm going off just a moment ago.
Yes,
It
there was.
might wind up bleeding into the so I guess, you run into all that.
This
kind
is
of stuff,
a
right?
rough. We're in a rough neighborhood here at Lizard Lounge Studios, LLC.
Yeah. Well, it's a gorgeous space. I love it, and I'm just so pleased. And you're nowhere to be found on the internet. I don't think so. If you need to look, if you want to book a recording session, you can contact Shag the band. We'll put you in contact.
We might hook you up.
We might hook you up. Little premium.
We know a guy.
Yeah. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've got there is an Instagram page which I haven't kept up, and I've always imagined, if this could work, kind of word of mouth, and totally hands off, and totally, which, that's kind of I could make it work better,
Right.
and get more people in
I'll
if I
build
made a
it
little bit of
organically
effort.
and have a Facebook page and a website.
If you build it, they will come.
Right.
Apparently.
all the best ones come.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, thank you. Well, no, it is nice. I mean, it does feel like a privilege to be able to rehearse there.
Oh.
Because, it's not like everybody in town knows about the place and
Right.
has access to it.
Yeah. It's a different experience. I mean, there's lots of other rehearsal spaces, and they all have their, positive attributes to them and stuff. But
Some of them have no positive attributes.
No, that's not. We try to stay positive.
Yes.
those ones are gone now, though.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the ones that, but yeah, no. I mean, it's by far my favorite for sure, for a lot of reasons, and I think just the room in and of itself, it's just a beautifully situated, beautifully decorated too.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's thought. That's gone into every little bit of the place. The color, like I just love the color of the walls. I don't know if it was already blue when you took it over from Blue Dog, but
No, well, actually, there was a different in that the original shade is around in bits and pieces, but it's kind of more of a purpley blue.
right,
And
yeah.
but no, all the walls on the inside are walls within walls.
Right.
So if you were to tear any of those down, you'd see the walls.
Oh wow,
Oh, I see.
yeah.
The original walls
Yeah,
behind
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
That's for soundproofing
yeah,
or better acoustics and etc.
Yeah.
But no, it's interesting when it was just like a concrete floor and it was all white drywall. We were sitting there going, okay, this could look pretty slick,
Right.
Could look really kind of corporate and could look, and so we're thinking, no, forget that.
Yeah.
Let's have fun.
Let's go artistic. Yeah.
It's
Because it did look, it was an open, it was a blank slate,
Right.
and the possibilities were there for anything. But I'm glad we went kind of.
You've built a
funky,
wonderful atmosphere.
wacky, weird.
Yeah.
the
Now-
guitars that are up on the walls and they're really high up. It's not like you can just reach up there and grab them off. Do those ever come down at all? Does anybody ever, or are they just like decor at this point?
No, they come down. Have you ever? Do you know the ladder just outside the door, the little step ladder?
Yeah.
It's just enough to
get up
grab
there
the bottom of one and go.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all for use, and
Yeah.
they should be
Oh, okay.
should be all.
Well, that's
Good
great.
to
Now
go, but-
you've recently done a new board, reworked the studio from the ground up.
Yeah,
almost?
the control room's gone through a few incarnations, and the latest one involved getting a different interface and a different board. It's actually a Midas H2000, which was a staple of live sound for years and years.
Right.
But they're also really respected for their analog preamps and EQs. But these boards, they have one. There's this circuit board in the master section, which is a 4-layered circuit board, and on this board is a battery that's supposed to hold the memory to your settings. And these batteries, if they're not tended to or replaced, every now and then they leak, and then they get in the layers of the board.
Oh dear.
Nice design, boys.
And they don't make these things anymore. So this board, within a few months of being in there,
I remember that.
There's a smoke show, and it was this multi-layered board, which I replaced with another board that had been repaired, and then that burnt out. And anyway, it's
So where did you get it from? Like, if they don't make them anymore, where do you like?
well, this board came from a theater in Victoria, so it spent its life in a civic theater.
Right.
So really well maintained.
Nobody was drinking beer over top of it.
No,
Yeah.
and that's, I mean, most of these boards have just been around the world or on tour.
Right.
But if you get one from a theater,
Right.
they haven't been battered around. But
Right.
with any old electronics, especially boards, capacitors can get leaky over time. And
Right.
this one hasn't yet.
Right.
But that's why you see these monster boards on sale for $1,000 or $2,000
Because you can't get the parts to replace them.
Well,
or you've got to be a master.
Or you can, but it's
circuitry
like
guy.
if you're replacing a whole bunch of capacitors in one strip, and then you have 48 of these strips. It's like,
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of a labor of love.
Yeah.
For,
So do you actually get in there and do any engineering yourself in there for projects?
you know what? I haven't. I usually I'm usually in there like once a week and take the empties out. One of these days.
Well,
I've done the odd session,
Right.
but no, I would like to spend more time.
Okay.
I've, I've got my sort of day job, and I'm just
Right.
encouraging people to come on in. Here's how everything's patched.
Right.
Right.
And,
Yeah. Okay.
and some people have made good use of it.
Right.
Right.
Good for them.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
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 So
Yeah,
budding
yeah.
engineers who want a place to,
Yeah.
do
And
something.
Will did a cool live stream show called Portside Live.
Oh, really?
And there's about, I think, 9 or 10 episodes of that.
Oh.
And he produced a whole bunch of cool
He
bands
did it
in
out
there.
of there?
Yeah, they did some cool camera work in there. And,
Nice.
they weren't live streamed. It was live taped, and then they chopped
Right.
it up with interviews and stuff.
Right. Nice.
From various bands. Yeah, it
Nice,
looked really
nice,
good.
nice. Yeah.
It sounded really good too. It was
Very cool. Very
yeah.
cool. That actually would be a great place too for people to shoot podcasts if they wanted to as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Absolutely. It's such a beautiful setting again. So, have you had opportunities to hang out at other studios around town that do you know anything about any of the other? places around?
Not lately. Not for a number of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, I kind of embarked on this, with a sort of yesteryear knowledge of the Vancouver
Right.
studio
Yeah.
scene, and this is more of a little personal sandbox that
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
invited
Yeah.
other people to use.
Are you born and raised Vancouver, or did you come here?
My parents moved here from Alberta, so when I was like 12 years old.
Right.
I've been in Vancouver since.
Right.
since
Oh,
then.
okay. Where in Alberta? Not many berries by chance.
Many
My
days.
father's.
Where's that?
You can basically see Montana there and Saskatchewan there. It's right in the southeast corner of
yeah.
Alberta.
Yeah.
Population probably about 43 on a good day.
What's it
but
called?
Many
Many
berries.
berries.
Many berries.
You can
My
collect
father
many
grew
berries
up
there.
there.
Who's okay? Are you from Winnipeg?
I'm from Saskatchewan. His dad was from Many Berries.
Pa was a cowboy.
Wow.
Yeah. Who?
I'm not.
The story goes. Now you should tell the story about your dad running away.
No, I
To the
probably
ranch.
shouldn't.
The story goes that
Somewhere between the ages of 3 and 7.
no one was really sure, but top end of it, I think maybe was about 8 or so. He had at some point got brought out to Vancouver when he was like
No, his family,
Eight
his
or something.
parents lived in Vancouver. They
This is a
opened
Dash Senior we're talking about.
Dash Senior.
Okay.
But he
Ron.
wanted to be on the ranch. He wanted to be on the ranch, and so he ran away and literally
the
somehow
dead of winter.
hitchhiked his way
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to the ranch.
From Vancouver.
Yeah,
from Vancouver.
when he was
To
really,
Many Berries.
really
Yeah,
little. By
let's
himself.
say 7 years old.
I say that earns you a
What?
job on the.
Yeah, when I
You're
took his
hired, son.
ashes out there to be buried on the farm and in a cowboy cemetery, and everyone just stood over the cowboy graves and told stories. And they literally told stories about when Ron came out and they saw him in the middle of winter just bounding over the snow to the farm.
They call him Traveling Ron.
And they said, yeah, he was about 7.
What?
Yeah. It was a different era, World War II.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been just the beginning
And
of
what?
World War II.
Did he homestead? The 7-year-old
Well,
homestead?
the parent, it was
He
to
had
his
some
aunt and
family there?
uncle. Yeah, he had family,
Okay.
so a
Jeez.
family farm, and his
Give-
parents just said, yeah, okay.
Give that boy
Stay.
a rifle and
Stay.
send him over to
Wow.
take care of the Kaiser
Wow.
for us, eh?
Yeah, they told
Boy.
stories about him riding the horse through the one-room schoolhouse.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And where did Many Berries?
That was the closest town to the farm that he grew up on.
Why was it called Many Berries?
Because
I
there
guess
were
they had a
probably
lot of
many
berries.
that you could gather and collect.
Some of which would kill you, probably.
There's
Probably. Well, I don't think there's a lot of poisonous berries around. Well, no,
Rattlesnake.
No, there's a few. Rattlesnakes, lots of rattlesnakes.
lots of
there.
rattlesnaks.
Yeah,
Many
for sure.
snakes. Many
Eating
snakes
the big
down the
many
road.
berries.
Yeah,
Yeah, many berries attracts more investment than many snakes.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So
Council
yeah,
decided.
so studios in Vancouver.
yeah, that's
You know,
what we're
that
talking
was
about
what we were
today.
talking about. So I'll kick it off because going back to the 70s, I don't know what your vintage is, but I kind of started listening to music in the early 70s. And back in the day, this was pre-Expo 86, where we invited the world and really became on the world stage. But in the 70s, there was nothing to Vancouver internationally. Like 79, the Whitecaps went to the Soccer Bowl and played the New York Cosmos.
Wow.
And Jim McKay on ABC News famously called it the Village of Vancouver.
Whoa.
Here's this
Right.
Vancouver team from the Village of Vancouver, and everyone in Vancouver went, "Whoa, we're not a village." Oh,
This is in
or are we?
79?
79, yeah, and we won the Soccer
Wow.
Bowl. New
What do you
York
got?
Cosmos, they had Pele and all the top paid players in the world, greatest, and we were this very British team, and there was a Scottish player.
There's the Whitecaps.
Whitecaps, yeah, the original Whitecaps. And there was
Leonard
this
Doozy and Carl
Lenarduzzi
Valentine
and Willie Johnson. Do you
Willie
remember Willie
Johnson,
Johnson? Willie Johnson, they're in San Jose, and he's going to be doing a corner kick in the offensive zone. And he goes over, some fan's got a beer in his hand. He runs over, grabs the beer, takes a swig of the beer, kicks the corner kick, but he heads it into the net, goal.
And they say soccer's boring.
Yeah, it's called the San Jose Sip. Look it up. It's probably on YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah. But we had nothing other than that, except recording studios, right? Like I remember as a 14-year-old kid and going like Mushroom Studios, and Hart recorded some albums there that just blew up internationally, and Little Mountain Studio, Bob Rock, apprentice engineer there. And
Still in the payolas.
Yeah, payolas and
Bruce Fairburn.
Bruce Fairburn. Yeah, that's who
was.
Bob Rock, I guess, he was Rock's mentor.
Mentor.
Yeah.
And then Mike Fraser.
Oh, I'm going to be talking about Mike Fraser later.
What?
No, it's okay. No, keep going.
Yeah.
And there's a group on Facebook that was talking about Hart and how when they first came to Vancouver, because they were a Seattle band originally.
Yeah.
And one of the members was I think a draft dodger or
Right.
came out to Vancouver, and his
Conscientious
girlfriend
objector.
conscientious
Pacifist.
objector, and his girlfriend Nancy Wilson followed, and then the rest of the band followed, and then they cut their teeth for 2 years, like playing at high schools, and like people were saying, "Oh yeah, I've seen Hart played my grad," and then used to play at every club in town.
I went to Alpha High School. I think started there in 75, and everybody just said a year or two, within a couple of years, "Oh yeah, Hart just played here like a year or two ago."
Right.
Never again. They just,
Yeah.
Wow.
It's cool that they cut their teeth up here.
Yeah,
in
high school band.
Vancouver. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
back in the day where school dances, the quality of high school bands back in the 70s was really high. Like I remember there was this band Bowser Moon, and they were kind of
gosh.
the king of the high school bands, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
showed up and they had the white satin matching suits, and they just were everything you'd ever want, in a cover band. They were
Wow.
great.
Remember Paul Anthony and the Invasion?
No.
Paul Anthony, he had a snake. He would he would sing with this snake around his neck.
Was it a real live?
Yeah, it was like a
snake?
python.
Oh, the poor thing.
Well, I
The
mean,
glory days.
Alice Cooper did it for years.
Yeah, Jake the Snake did it.
It was all different snakes, by the way, with Jake the Snake. Every place that they would go into, they would like rent a snake. Like apparently there's rent a snake places like everywhere.
Yeah, and you hear the stories of the wrestlers. They go, "That snake actually bit people.
Dude.
Like it was real."
on Hot Ones, there's an episode on Hot Ones with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I recommend watching it. Listen, like keep watching this. Don't turn us off, okay? But at the end of this episode, go and watch the Stone Cold Steve Austin episode on Hot Ones, and he talks about a wrestling, like it was like some WWF wrestling thing, and Jake's like, listen, man, what we're gonna do, okay? We're gonna really get things pumped up, and we're the snake. I'm gonna make the snake pretend to bite you, okay? And Austin, he's like, dude, I don't like snakes, Like I'm not like I don't want the snake. Really, he goes, don't worry, man, the snake's not gonna bite you. I promise you, man. Don't worry about it, man. The snake's not gonna bite you. So of course you already know what happened, right? You already know. The start of the match, Jake goes over and menaces, Stone Cold with the giant boa constrictor, which proceeds to chomp out on his arm. It won't let go. He's going like it's wonderful. You got to hear him tell his story because it's just great. Yeah. Yeah. So and then he was like, I can't believe this guy promised me the snake wouldn't bite, because you found out later that like he gets a different snake in every city. He doesn't know the snake. Like he's got some magical snake charming powers or something like that.
I knew a guy in the 80s, and his job, he was a lawyer, and his job was he represented WWF at the time.
Yeah.
And he basically had to respond to, my little Bobby got DDT'd on the playground and we're going to sue you. And he'd do the, PFO letter to him.
Yeah.
But the other thing he had to do is escort these wrestlers when they come into town.
Yes.
Right? And
what a job.
And he had a Jake the Snake story, and it was like he had a black belt, and he says, I had to chaperone Jake the Snake, and he says, we're going down to and I won't name the bar, but you'd all know it. One of the rowdiest bars in Vancouver where everything's happening that you don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
And he's there, and he's just waiting to get into a fight.
Yeah.
Because apparently, when you're the professional wrestlers, there's always a drunk who wants to fight you. And Jake the Snake wants to go and find him.
Wow.
And he's just,
true
so
professional.
he's got to, escort these
Always a
guys
chance to train, It's like, if you're not fighting, you're not trying. That's wild, man.
It's not exactly fake.
That's right.
It's predetermined who's going to win the match, but there's a lot of non-fakery that goes
Dude, if I get
between.
fake DDT'd, I'm done for the season, okay?
There may be a fake match, but that's a real broken neck you got.
That's right.
Hey, Krash.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can I help you with that? Yeah, I don't mind.
I'm running low.
What are we drinking, by the way?
Oh,
It's delicious.
hey,
Delicious.
Krash, what's on tap?
Well, for people that have been watching the previous episodes, we're still working on the German Pilsner. This is a lovely German Pilsner that got a little extra hopped.
This is
you're not
the
supposed
Sriracha Ace?
Yeah, the Sriracha Ace German Pilsner. It's delicious. I mean,
It's super
you love it.
delicious.
I love it. And
Yeah.
in that tank right there, we've got a new IPA coming.
Oh.
It's already done fermentation, so it's just gonna get ready to go.
Where are we in terms of how much more German Pilsner? How many more episodes of German Pilsner do we have until we get into the IPA?
I don't know if we're gonna make it through this one. We'll see.
Yeah.
We always question our ability to do
I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
the funny thing about kegs of beer is they almost always are finished unexpectedly. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, just a second. I just got to fill up. You know, and you're like, how can this be empty? And you're like, oh yeah,
Fair
right.
enough. Yeah. Yeah.
You've been drinking a lot. Yeah, so
Really good.
Yeah, thank you.
Really good.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Now,
So
Krash,
what were
you've done Brian Adams' studio, right?
So I've been a visitor at said studio, and if you like, I could tell you some things about it.
Oh, do
That's
tell.
pretty exciting. So Brian Adams, the Brian Adams, has an amazing studio here in Gastown, right? And there's a lot of very cool things about it. And for one thing, it is in the oldest brick building in all of Vancouver, and it was made in I want to get the time we're at 1886.
Wow.
Right.
1880. Imagine what Vancouver was like in 1886.
Yeah.
Anyway, a couple of guys named the Oppenheimer brothers built
Oh.
From the park? Oppenheimer
No,
Park?
no, these guys were named Chuck and Leroy, I think.
yeah, but I bet that park right down there.
Oh,
as
Oppenheimer
well.
Park.
Yeah, where
Which
the Japanese
is-
festivals used to be.
Yeah.
I'm sure that park was named after these people who
Probably.
probably built that
Chuck
building.
Chuck
Yeah.
and Leroy
Yeah.
Oppenheimer, which
Okay.
I have no idea if that's actually their names, by the way. But
Oh, okay.
Did you just
What-
make that up?
Was it built as a
I don't do that
like
much research.
a meat warehouse, or it was like a packing?
It was originally it was a grocery store first. I think it was a bunch of things, and then two other tossers from the UK came and bought it, and they were the Pilkington brothers. And before the Pilkingtons got their greedy mitts on it, Petey and Parker Pilkington, I believe their names were.
But just because you believe it doesn't make it true.
There's a certain truthiness around what I'm saying here, but it was actually also City Hall of Vancouver after an event called the Great Vancouver Fire, which I just learned about.
What?
Yeah, there was a thing called the Great Vancouver Fire.
Shut
And it-
12?
no, it was in 1886. 1886. Vancouver, newly incorporated village
Yeah,
at the time.
Oh.
You could have properly called it a village then. You know, that American fellow.
Not 100
Yeah.
years
In
later.
1980,
Jim McKay.
Jim McKay should not have insulted our city like that. But anyway, at the time, it was a village, and it burned right down. And the Oppenheimer building, of course, didn't because brick. And so City Hall, it hosted City Hall for the years 1888 to 1891. And anyway, these two guys, these Pilkington fellas, come
Oh, wait,
along.
one historical moment. Vancouver, the Great Fire. Like, it decimated Gastown. Like,
Yes.
just tore down, like, the whole city, essentially, that was Vancouver.
Except for that
burned
one
down.
building, right?
Except for...
Well, the Oppenheimer building
Because
because of brick, I guess.
Brick.
And you know, they made them just stand up to a fire back in those days. I mean, not everyone, but anyway. So these guys come along and they buy the Oppenheimer building and they let it fall to crap. You guys, they let this thing deteriorate. They abandon it. They're the kind of people that abandon a building in the middle of downtown Vancouver.
And a
Imagine
lot
that.
of rats moved in.
Yep, rats and all sorts of
Yeah.
vermin. And then fast forward like quite a ways to 1989, and our
Rock and roll!
our North Vancouver boy Brian Adams comes and buys it and says this would be a great place for a recording studio. And so he hired a guy to do all this, and you're not going to believe this guy's name. It's fantastic, Ron Obvious.
No.
It's like one of the best names I've ever
I
heard.
love it.
Yeah, Ron Obvious.
Also known as Ron Vermeulen
Oh.
is his
Yeah.
birth name.
Oh,
And
really?
he's still doing stuff. He
His
was a-
Shag,
he-
the band name is Ron Obvious. Yeah.
sounds like an old punk rocker.
Yeah.
He's
It
an
does
old
that.
punk rocker.
Yeah, it
he
sounds
was
like
he was the bass player in. My goodness, it'll come to me.
Pointed Sticks.
No, it'll come to me. But he was the mentor of John Vertasek, who built Little Mountain,
Right, because he was...
That's right.
and he became the technical director of. He sort of took over after John Vertasek passed away, and then designed. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Vertasek might have had a hand in initial design of the warehouse.
We
But
should
it
have
was-
prizes on this podcast to give to, for example, Posh Rodney right now, who is exactly right. he took over from Ron Obvious. Ron Obvious retired in 2003, and
Wow.
Vertasic stepped in to
Awesome.
take over in a way, and yeah. So these are like legendary dudes. So yeah. So Brian Adams makes a thing. Just off. You're not gonna believe all the people that have recorded there. I mean, it's crazy. It would take me the rest of the podcast to name all the albums and stuff. But they got 4 AC/DC records, 4 Brian Adams records. They got some Elvis Costello. They got soon to be friends of the show, Colin James. Nickelback did like 3 records there. REM did a couple. Chazzy Hip. Mickey Bubbles.
No, sorry.
Mickey
Name's
Bubbles?
lost on me. Tell me.
Michael Bublé.
Oh,
In Australia, they call him Mickey Bubbles.
is that what they call it in Australia? Oh my God, that's so funny.
I know, it's great. It's
Okay,
great.
Mickey Bubbles.
So yeah, he did a couple, and including his best record, the Christmas record.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Well,
And you're
And
not
he used to play just down the street at the Purple Onion Tuesdays, Gin and Sin evenings, where you could see Michael Bublé for free.
wow.
I think it was Tuesdays. Was Gin
When
and
was
Sin.
this?
This would be in the late '80s.
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
late '80s.
if I could make a short list of people to come in and have on this podcast, right below Posh Rodney would be Mickey Bubbles.
Yeah.
Huge hockey fan, a huge Canucks fan. Huge.
Yeah.
He's
no,
huge. He has
great.
He has a hockey rink in his basement.
He's a very funny guy too.
Yeah, I know.
He's a real trash talker.
And a genuinely lovely person from what I can tell. He did an episode once on this hockey podcast I sometimes listen to called Spitting Chicklets, and it's great if you're go
Nice.
listen to it. It's super good.
nice. So this is an open invitation for Michael Bublé to come on.
Or
Day
Mickey
Drinking.
Bubbles.
We could talk hockey. We
His
could talk
shag name.
music. We could Mickey Bubbles.
He's my neighbor in Burnaby.
Wow.
He's
there you
still a
go.
Burnaby guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's got this half
Yeah.
a block in Government Street there.
I'd show up. I'd show up with the skates on, with the skate guards and the stick, and just be like, "Hey, is the rink open?" Down the stairs, just this way. That'd be great.
On the right day,
I think he'd
at
like
the
it.
right time,
Yeah, I think
he
he'd
might
love
go. If you showed up with 9 guys,
Yeah.
say we're looking for a 10th in the rink.
Yeah.
Right.
We heard you play. We heard you
would.
play a little bit. He's got some great stories on that podcast. So anyway, yeah, and
But you got to play cool.
got, yeah, I could talk about his podcast or his episode he did on Spitting Chicklets is amazing. But anyway, they also recorded "God Hates Them All" by Slayer at that studio. So pretty cool, Mutt Lange was recorded there. Brendan O'Brien, Bob Rock, and a cat that I'd just like to say something quick about, Mike Fraser, who's a legendary, absolutely legendary, producer guy that I feel like people criminally don't really know this guy. But on the one occasion that I got to go visit this studio, boy, was I in luck. I was just there as a tag along, hey, why don't you come down to the studio? I'm going to meet with this guy, Mike Fraser. This is my friend who used to be in a band called Doc Walker, and they were going to do a record, and they did a record with Mike Fraser. So we were down there to say hi and meet him and see, if there was a meeting of the minds and that sort of thing. So I'm like, damn, yeah, I want to go see this place. So the studio itself is very nondescript. There's no big sign that says, hey, this way to Brian Adams' studio, or anything like that.
Right.
It's just this dark.
No,
door.
it's not the official name.
No, it's called the Warehouse.
The Warehouse.
But I think a lot of people
We all call it
like-
Brian Adams Studio. Yeah.
So you buzz this code, and then they let you in,
Is
and
the
then
code 5440?
5150. So you go through this big door, and then up this sort of fire escape, and there's this beautiful golf green, that people go putt on, I guess, and play, and it's in the middle of Gastown, right? So it's super weird. And anyway, you go in, and I walk in the studio, and there's this guy, working on the console and mixing, and I listen to what he's mixing, and it's G3, the Joe Satriani, Yngwie Malmsteen, and Steve Vai, guitar stuff, right? As a guitar nerd, I'm like, wow, hey, this is super cool. Oh my God, he's working on the mix for the thing, and so he's like, hey guys, be right with you, just finishing this last, whatever like that, and I said, we were introduced, and I go, so I say, hey man, who's got the best tone of the G3 guys? And he's like, Satch.
Yeah.
I was like, who's got the worst tone? And then we both at the same time we go, Ingve. and so all of a sudden, we're friends. And so my friend and Mike had their like sort of tete-a-tete and I just kind of sat there, and then he was like, hey, what are you doing with the band? Like, what do you do with like Doc Walker or whatever? I was like, hey, Mike, I don't do anything, and I'm just like tag along. I'm just a friend, Don't worry about me. He wouldn't have it though. He was such a lovely, welcoming, generous guy. You're part of the team. If you're here, you're the same as everybody else, kind of thing, Right. And he sat and he chatted with us for ages, about like Motley Crue and Aerosmith and AC/DC and these bands that he's recorded. You look at the bands that this guy's done; it's insane. It's easier to make a list of the bands he hasn't done, And but you couldn't ask for a more like lovely person. Just awesome dude. Yeah. So I was really lucky.
Nice.
Great.
Very
nice. Very nice.
Great story.
I kind of remember working at the town pump, like early 90s, kind of when that studio went in. And it was like sort of the buzz. Like I think I was one of the last waitresses ever.
Didn't you say you closed the door there? And prior to that, you closed the door on
of another club? I know. I am the kiss of death.
Do not hire this woman
Do
to
not
be
hire
a
me
waitstaff.
because your business will close down. In fact, yeah, actually, that's...
Or if I hire me for insurance.
Way more insurance than
I'm
you
way
possibly
better
imagine.
than hiring an arsonist.
Yeah, I just bring bad luck along with me.
Reverse magic.
Yeah, but I remember kind of the buzz at the time being like, "Ooh, Brian and Adam's studio is like it's here somewhere on this block," and it was like, "Which door is it?"
Yeah, if
I
you don't know where it is,
Yeah.
it's hard to know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very
But
cool.
if you know, you know.
Yeah.
So
Pretty cool place.
now, Trixie, you also recorded in yesteryear in
Yep.
the studio. What
Sure
was
did.
your studio experience like?
Oh, it was fantastic and frenetic. And I'm not going to remember this guy's name, but I recorded in a studio out in Chilliwack. And at some point, maybe in the post-edit, I'll be able to find his name and we can just magically insert his name.
There it is.
Right there. There it is. And...
But you have to say his name is, and then just do some gyrations with your body.
Sure. Okay, we'll do that right now.
Petey Pilkington.
I do believe his first name was Peter. I do recall that. Yeah, his name was Peter something. And yeah, so I recorded like a full length album, and the crazy thing was that really I only had about 3/4, maybe 2/3 of the songs written. And we went in, and every day we would come out 8 hours later with a full-on song done in the can.
Wow.
Done. This guy was magic. Like he was not just an engineer, but he was a producer, a songwriter. He was like, here's where it needs to go, this is what needs to happen, here we go. And I was like,
What was the studio called? Do you remember?
I don't remember. And it was his home. He had a beautiful home studio. And he's recorded a bazillion people out of his house. And I will find his name and we will, anyways, yeah, I did that album out of there. And, and it was interesting because it was a question I was going to ask you earlier is like, imagine I've never been in a studio before. What would you tell someone how to prepare to go into a studio? And I can now, I can tell you, I can already answer that question. It's like, know your shit before you go in because you're going to waste a lot of time and money if you don't. But this guy was just such magic that he, I knew where I needed the song to go and what I wanted to do, but I could just kind of verbalize it and he'd go, oh, you mean like this? And I'd be like, yes, that's exactly what it's like. Anyways, yeah, he was brilliant. He was wonderful. So
I think my advice would be bring slippers.
yeah, and a house coat, because you're going to do a lot of sitting around. I think that's probably one of the big myths, right, about recording is that you think it's going to be this, really cool experience where you, most of it's admin, right? Like, you're just hanging back and waiting till everything gets dialed up properly, and that's been my experience anyways so far. So yeah.
What would your recommendations be heading in?
You know what? I'm trying to think of whether it would. I mean, I think there's the obvious, making sure your instrument or gear is
Working?
intonated. Is totally ready to record, and that funny little sound that you had with your amp or your pedal. If it just happens 10% of the time, probably in the studio it's going to happen. 70% of the time. Like
fix
just
that
get
whammy
just
ball.
get all the shit fixed before you come in. Aside from I think depending on a artist workflow or who's producing, I always think for a band, like have the arrangement nailed before you come in. But of course, there's a lot of people that will, they're not watching the clock. They're not worried about that, and they like to create in the studio and leave a lot of room for that. But as far as being efficient, to have all that stuff dialed as a band, but. Of course, there's people that like to write in the studio and create as they go.
They don't pay by the
maybe
hour.
shepherded by the.
Well, I guess it's who's paying too, right?
Who's paying? And if you've done pre-production, great. But again, some people like to collaborate in the studio and figure it out there.
I'll bet there's been a lot of fights in a lot of record studios over that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah,
No,
I remember.
how dare you change
We
my
should
song?
do a
It's perfect.
section on band fights.
Yeah.
Physical altercations in bands.
I remember my very
the Oasis
first
episode.
Yeah,
early
the Kings.
recording experience with a band. When it came to the mixing of it, that's where a lot of heads butted. It was like, that needs to be more, that needs to be less, right? Like there was a lot of ego in there that I'm like, now I look back on, and I don't know, I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, whatever, I don't care. It's like,
And I think
It's a great point in life.
I think a lot of producers and or engineers, when it comes to the mixing stage, is like, okay, let me do a mix, and then everyone can put their 2 cents in.
Right.
But not everyone in the control room. They turn me up, turn that down, turn it. Everything is like,
right.
oh,
Yeah.
And I think that's become fairly normal, actually.
Somebody needs to make the first decisions.
Well, I think
right?
an interesting example of that would be Planet Claire, the B-52s, right? So I think I've heard that like Kate Pearson was not particularly happy with sort of the mix on the back end of it, because there's the and she, in her mind, I think wanted that to be more prominent, which I think it probably should have been, because that was kind of the point of that song. But the keyboards got mixed so far in front of that, right? But
Yeah, it was so you hear it, but you hear it as keyboards.
yeah,
But she's actually doing it
she's
vocally.
actually singing it,
Right.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, well, come on, anyone can do this.
Yeah.
I mean, not anyone.
Yeah, but it's I think, and I
Jimmy
think that was,
Sturgeon could.
Jimmy
yes,
Sturgeon.
Jimmy Sturgeon could, but I think that was a major point of consternation for her, and so I don't know how that went down in the studio, but I'm anyways, there you go.
How do you guys, when you're rehearsing or like taking on a new song, for instance, or an original, are you guys pretty democratic? Is everyone equal?
I think probably. I mean, I would say that if you have a strong opinion, it's going to be heard for sure. I think that we all recognize if something is a good idea that we generally agree with. So if it's like, hey, I got this idea, maybe we should do it this way, and it's like, okay, well, let's try it that way. Okay, is that objectively better or objectively worse? And sometimes it gets thrown aside, and sometimes it gets. But I don't feel like there's any like systematic, Twaco Tonehammer is always right about these things, or Jimmy Sturgeon is out to lunch.
People have vetoes, although in reality, some vetoes are stronger than other vetoes.
Singer vetoes are pretty strong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if a singer says I can't do this, or I don't, or I hate this song, and or I hate this song, and I'm not going to do it. Well, you know.
Yeah, but if you can't sing it, you can't sing it.
So that's actually an interesting. Just like in terms of song choice, we actually have a spreadsheet that is a shareable spreadsheet that we all. Right now, we basically operate with you're allowed to only have 2 songs on there at a time.
That you've suggested.
Right.
And there's a voting system. And
Anonymous?
no, it's not anonymous.
I don't think it should be.
And I mean, I hope no one's feelings have been too
And there's
hurt at this
criterion
point.
for what we think is a shag song. So it's like there's songs we love, but we go, but for a shag
not
song,
us.
it's a 3 out of 5. It's the voting, but
I
because we want theatrical stuff,
I just
danceable
put
stuff.
a song forward. I put forward Big Country. In a big country. And it got shot down by people right away. And I'm like, hey, no
Who's playing the bagpipes?
hard feelings,
for one
but,
thing.
you know.
We had a bagpipe player
did.
come out to the house once.
Yeah.
And he goes, do you want me to just use the little thing? She goes, no, hook it all up. And we didn't have earplugs.
Wow, you
and-
could have heard him down the block.
Those
man.
are-
He's a great
wow.
bagpipe player, but
Great.
it unfortunately didn't work for the song that we were hoping to get him on. But yeah.
That's not the guy that wears all the pink.
No,
pink
it's
kilt and
not the
everything?
same guy. No,
Okay.
no.
I've met that guy a few times.
Yeah, the,
he's
pink,
cool.
the Pink Piper.
Frank, yeah,
North
he's-
Van's Pink Piper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, big beer drinker.
But yeah, no. So we have a spreadsheet, and it winds up being color coded depending on the votes. So like it'll change colors. I think you did
I did that,
the
yeah.
programming behind that.
Yeah, fancy.
And
I kind of nerd out on Excel sometimes.
yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's so good. And so people just pop their songs in, and you're only allowed 2 at a time, so you can remove it if it gets, if it's not getting you good, and you can put something else in if you want. But
And a
that's
1
how
out
we
of
do it.
5 is an automatic veto.
Yes, it
So
is.
if somebody puts a 1 on the ranking,
Yeah.
then the thing turns red, and it's
Yeah.
just like, okay, we're not
Gotta
doing
go.
we're not doing the
Gotta
song
go.
because
The song.
like for like I've got
I feel
like
really strongly about.
exactly I've
Kurt
got like
gets
my
rated.
I've got like my top 5, 10, whatever most hated songs.
Yes.
Like Sweet Home Alabama.
That's one of mine too.
Good.
Yeah.
No,
And
no
it's hard-
Canadian
It's
should like that
it's
song.
it's a great song, but it's so overplayed.
Everybody loves it when you
can't-
play
can't
it, but everyone hates to play it.
Right.
That's sort of how I kind of feel about that song. Like, I mean, in all fairness, when it comes on, I cannot help but to just sing along to it, but it's like it's just so overdone that I want to find for us we want to find the Planet Clairs and the Rock Lobsters and the Paradise by the Dashboard Light songs that nobody else does, right? Like that's kind of more our wheelhouse,
That's sweet spot.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but and in the room musically, there are some people, not me, who are much more musically literate than others. And so, a great example would be our last rehearsal. We were doing Rome by the B-52s. At this point, I think we might qualify as a B-52s cover band.
Yeah.
We want to be a mini cover band.
Yeah,
all for it.
But we were doing Rome, and we were having just kind of some difficulties with that very beginning intro piece. That piece. And we tried
So
it a couple
pretty.
times, and Twaco said, Trixie, back off the mic. You need to blend more instead of be on top, because I'm doing the upper register on it. And so Moxie Grievous is doing the actual lead on it. So I needed to blend more. And so Twaco was being musical director in that moment. And I was like,
Right.
oh, okay, got it, right.
And Vinyl Vixen will often say, especially on harmony parts.
That's a B flat. It should be a B flat. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Okay, sure, I guess.
I know.
What's a B flat sound
It's
like?
good.
Twago's pretty good at that stuff.
Oh, he's very
for
good.
a bass player.
Yeah, he's very, very good at that stuff. And of course, Jimmy Sturgeon. So you and Jimmy and Twaco, the 3 of you together tend to be this is what is musically wrong or missing or where it needs to go. And we all just kind of sit back and go, yep. Okay, great, thanks.
Yeah.
can we play this down a half step? And
Yeah.
it's like,
That's
the
your
three of us will put
favorite.
our heads together. We'll go like step over here and go. I don't know. There's a
Yeah.
couple open strings on this.
Yeah, the singers.
And sometimes I come back, no.
That's one thing I think should be included on preparing for a session is getting the key together.
Yeah.
Because
Know your key?
I've done a number of sessions where it's a great track. Everyone's really tight, but there's just some part of the song, some critical part of the song that thank you, that the singer is just not settled with. Is not, and pick up an acoustic. It's like, just try it in D or something. It's like, whoa, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
everybody.
everyone can't make that immediate
right,
adjustment. It's
Yeah.
like going to like, what, we're playing it in like F now? Like what?
I know.
Or it's just nothing you can do on the spot.
Yeah.
Like
It's
you got
the
Unless
open-
you're playing
it's the
synth,
open
or,
strings,
but-
right?
Mm-hmm.
that
open
become the problem.
strings and open
Right.
strings that you can't work around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of like parts and riffs and that are going to take advantage of certain open strings, and so you've got certain choices. You got capos, you've got down tuning, you've got just re-harmonizing the tune in a different key.
Yeah.
But
You have the
it's-
magic button that
The
can just.
Yeah.
pedal.
There's also magic buttons, but the thing about the magic buttons, pitch shifters. I play all digitally. Everything in my setup is digital, so technically I can just raise the key or lower the key, as I see fit. Yeah, can we drop it 2 steps? Sure, I'll just put it in my pitch shifter. There's just one problem. It sounds like dog poop.
Yeah.
And it has all the same characteristics of dog poop, and
It's like AI has been assigned your part.
weirdly, there's one song that we play that I pitch shift a lot, from a regular, like a standard E 440 tuning to drop C. Drop C is like Norwegian death metal tuning, right?
Okay.
It's like burn down a church, gong, 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 like this. So
what song is that?
Rock Lobster.
Oh yeah.
Rock Lobster, the dude in the B-52s, who we got to get on the show. We got to get him on the
Gotta get
show.
I think
Like,
he's passed away.
the guitar player, the
Pretty-
singer, but the guitar player really? Oh, that's
No,
not.
No, not the
Yeah.
Fred's
Well,
still with us, but I think it's the guitar player.
the original guitar player, but then the drummer became the guitar player, so it depends
Okay.
what
Oh
era.
yeah.
Well, how do you like a guy that records a whole song with a Telecaster in drop C tuning, where he's removed the A string and I believe the G string of the guitar, or maybe the G string and the D string of the guitar, they're off the guitar.
On purpose or
On
were they
purpose,
just poor?
like on purpose. Take them off, and I think he tuned. It was something ridiculous, like C A C C or something like that. Just crazy town, total crazy town. So like when I'm trying to learn that song, I'm like, oh my god, what is that low note? And it's like a low C, so you try to tune down to it, right? No way. It's just, your guitar string's just an elastic band. It's just flopping around. It's hitting you in the eye. Like you can't concentrate. So anyway, I was like, well, the only way we're going to be able to play this tune is either I play it up high, like an octave higher, which sounds even more like doo-doo than you think it would sound like, or I pitch shift this thing, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm never going to get away with pitch shifting that much down. It sounds awesome. Because it's such a weird song, and it has such a weird tone that all those weird artificial artifacts, those digital artifacts, make it actually sound kind of cool.
So you never
lucky-
considered bringing a third guitar that
Well, you
has
just-
removed the 2 strings?
I mean, unless you
and-
got a baritone guitar and then still tuned it down a full step. I mean, my goodness.
Or make it part of the show where you take out some side cutters in between songs and chick, chick, ding, go.
You know what this means, everybody?
Exactly, right? That's showmanship.
Well, I think on that note, I think that brings us to an end.
No way.
I think so. Well,
I can't cheers with an. Is there some left in there? Okay, there we go.
There you go. Emergency pour.
replacement. All right. Well, thank you.
chick ding dong.
You know what this